bit like a supermodel, that girl there. She's very nice to look at, but she's got a problem. She's very high maintenance.
I was working 7 days a week sort of thing, you know, in trucks, and I was loving it. I wanted more.
So we've just been discussing who's going to go first.
1, 2, 3.
No, on the phone, just make sure you're listening. Phone's off, mate. Talk to us. Hello.
See, boy, turn that phone up.
Name's Wayne, and we work at HHA.
My name's Buff, and I work at HHA.
And we are the A team.
No, we're not, bro. We're the Z team. We start at the bottom.
Yeah. We'll walk out to the A team.
Yeah, eventually.
We get 20 or 30 job applicants a month that want to work for us. You know, you need people that know what they're doing. And the coal wagons give us a great opportunity to see if you can walk the walk and talk the talk.
Twice a week, repaired coal wagons are hauled from Brisbane to Rockhampton, 700 kilometres to the north. Damaged wagons are then loaded and hauled back for repair.
By no means are they a mega move, but it gives budding operators that want to aspire to, 18 level an opportunity to show me their skills and see if they're worthy of promotion up through the ranks.
I think everyone that comes here, it's a bit of a stepping stone. If you start on the wagons, you prove yourself, you do the job, you don't bitch and moan.
For me, this run is in my probation period, so it's in my best interest to prove to John I'm capable of not only doing the wagons, but going up the ranks, moving up to a better trucks and get into some bigger shit.
Me and Bob have been best mates for about 18, 20 years. I've been over here for 4 years. He's come over here about 9 months ago. Wanted to try and get ahead in life, better lifestyle, better weather, and obviously better money. Well, hopefully he doesn't make me look bad. If he does, it's going to probably reflect back on me, but I think after knowing him for 20 years and whatnot and working together, I'm pretty much
He was scared to be on his own. He was getting bullied, so he wanted me to come and be his bodyguard.
A little bit of peer pressure. If you see the size of Sasquatch, no one's going to mess with me, with a mate like this.
Bro, we're not mates, we're acquaintances.
Sorry.
But with Boss John breathing down their necks, these truckers will have to pull their weight on this job.
The biggest obstacle on this move is crane loading at each end. If we miss that deadline, we can be put back a whole full day. So I've just run wagons halfway across the country for nothing. I've made no money because I can't charge the customer if we're there late.
We understand that the road's got to be fixed. You can sit here 10, 15 minutes at a stop go,
Found out they've been doing some major roadworks up there. The more stops you have, the more stressful it is.
They've only got to do 700 kilometres each way. They've got 2 full days to do it in. And as far as I'm concerned, they should be able to do this in reverse. If they can't be up and back in 2 days, I think they need to go back to carting milk and bread.
You're going to spend 2 or 3 days with the guy, you might as well do it with your mate, You get a bit tired, you talk a bit of shit, you take the piss out of each other. It's just another day in paradise.
What's happening here, mate?
More roadworks. Well, the pressure's on now. We've just heard that the stop goes all the way up. If we get another bloody 10 of these, we're not going to make it.
In just 4 hours, crane drivers will be itching to unload the wagons in Rockhampton. But putting the foot down is not an option.
We've got every truck on satellite tracking. It's a very handy tool for keeping an eye on your drivers. Basically, I don't let the guys do over 90 kilometres an hour. I've got my speed alert set up in the system, so if they do over 93 kilometres an hour, it sends me an email with their registration and their location, and then I'm on speed dial. Speed dial at 400 decibels.
You're driving, and the phone goes ding, 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 ding. So you go, hello, and you go, slow the f down. So it's quite simple, really.
550 kilometres north of Brisbane, Wayne and Buff are in danger of missing their deadline.
Yeah, they're waiting.
And blowing their chance of becoming mega truckers.
Yeah, that's not a bad run, eh, Copper?
If I have a bad run in my probation period of always being late and costing them money, well, it's not going to look good, What are we? 15 kilometres out? Yeah, we're cutting it a bit fine with our time for the cranes.
If you're not going to get there, the cranes are going to start ringing up the company saying, where's your trucks? Then you're going to get John ringing up going, where the hell are you? It's not that long to get to Rocky, it's only 700 Ks.
Yeah, ain't got too much to go, probably another half an hour. They could probably squeeze another 6 stop and goes in between there, though.
Just our day up even more.
Yeah, well.
The boys arrive with minutes to spare. The cranes are ready and waiting. a quick wagon switchover is needed to keep them on side.
It's good working with a mate because you know their ability, you know what they can do compared to someone you don't, you know. There's not a lot of double checking. You right there, Precious?
You getting there?
Come on, buddy. He still drives out the wall, but at least you can have some more fun. Can you try and do those dogs properly this time, bro?
It's worse than being f***ing married, I tell you. Especially with him. If I want this shit out of you, I'll squeeze you, all right? Homeward bound. Still a bit of pressure on, though.
It's day 2 on the coal wagon's move. Wayne and Buff had just 4 hours to meet another crane deadline back in Brisbane.
The next obstacle was they were having a bit of a blitz up at Maryborough, so...
The blitz being the RTA, the coppers.
Queensland Transport. 9 times out of 10, one of us is going to get pulled up, especially with the oversized loads.
So we've just been discussing who's going to go first.
One of us is going to get pulled.
It's only one fair way, eh?
Yep. Paper, scissors, rock.
Okay.
1, 2, 3.
Then my bitch, where you go? It's always got to be a winner. About 20 seconds, we'll see whether we're going to get pulled up or not. So, fingers crossed. Oh, look at that. Cranies will be waiting for us, so we just want to, you know, keep things moving.
If you get a bad bunch of cops, they might hold you by checking your vehicle over your load. They want to go through all your oversized permits.
Beautiful.
That was lucky, bro.
Yeah, we would have lost a fair bit of time there, I'd say. Hopefully we get home, knock off, beauty.
After successfully passing the inspectors, Wayne and Buff make it back to Brisbane on time.
Once we get past the RTA, we had pretty much a cream run all the way into Brisbane.
Boys are waiting for us. Quick unload, reload, back to the yard.
No, I think the boys have done a good job on the move. You know, they could have done the wrong thing and sped up and tried to make up time there, but they just, you know, kept it slow and steady, and that's a good job.
Hopefully with doing the good job, we'll move up the ladder.
I'd say they're on the 3rd rung of a 10-rung ladder. So they're 30% of the way there, with 70% of the way to go. Brad's definitely one of our most senior, most experienced operators. And Ryan, he's the up-and-coming rookie, doing a great job at what he's doing. I'm hoping that Brad can pass on a bit of his wisdom. It's a bit of a nervous time for myself here at HHA. Pretty much we're on the eve of departure here for the last 2 locos for our Queensland QR National rail contract. Every other loco we delivered has gone off without a hitch. Perfect delivery, no incident.
Starting in Brisbane, the 2 locomotives will be hauled 4,500 kilometres to Perth. It's the longest journey a Megatrucker can make through the harsh outback.
There's talk of an extension of the contract for another further 6 locos. If there was a mishap, that's going to be $1.5 million that we'll miss out on.
Ryan will drive Bandit 2, but it's Brad's truck, the heavy hauling outlaw. That's a gamble.
This truck has been an absolute dog from the day we picked it up. Had 2 engine rebuilds and 1 brand new engine. Bandit 1's just been an absolute disaster.
But with no spare prime movers and a contract to complete, Boss John needs this truck to go coast to coast.
The whole success of this contract rides on delivering these locos incident-free, issue-free.
"4 a.m, the depot. The Megatruckers start their 9-day journey. Just a few hours in, trouble strikes. The wheels on Ryan's trailer need an emergency realignment.
I left the yard here in the morning, I turned the first corner and it just wouldn't tow straight. And I just thought, what have I embarked on here?
I'll just keep wearing like that, you know, so a long way to go, so we better fix it here.
If the tyres aren't dead straight, they'll shred in just a few kilometres.
You've got 80 tyres on the ground at any one time. So there's $60,000 worth of rubber just on the trailer alone. For every kilometre, you're throwing $50 notes down the drain.
100 kilometres later, the trailer plays up again.
Just trying to adjust, just trying to get it so it tracks straight, so it gets perfectly in line with the trailer, with the truck. F***ing thing. It's a dog. Every day we've set ourselves a goal of 800 kilometres.
we've allowed half a day for problems, but when you stop half a dozen times, you burn that little window of opportunity up in one day. And then when you just get a little problem like this that just aggravates you and niggles at you all day, you've just about had enough.
I'm looking at Brad and thinking, you've got 30 years, 20 years experience in this shit, you should know this. And he's looking at me and he's scratching his head and thinking, you know, just rattle his cage, it did.
1,000 kilometres to the southwest, the moment Boss John feared would happen, does.
Oh! Blew a hose. We'll need water and shit.
Hundreds of kilometres from a mechanic, it's a cracked hose. The entire journey is in jeopardy.
The right-hand toolbox says hopefully now we haven't cooked the engine because this is a brand new engine. My truck in the 6 months has had quite a few dramas. Very last trip, it blew a whole engine up, so it cost us 2 days behind and 60, 70 odd grand. We put a new engine in it. Pretty appalling, really.
Brad turns bush mechanic to patch the $6 hose.
Oh, I'll just shorten that one up. Yeah, mate.
But will it hold?
It's a bit like a supermodel, that girl there. She's very nice to look at, but she's got a problem. She's very high maintenance.
Engine seems good. We just fill up full of water, should have coolant in it, but the show will go on. That's why you pay me the big bucks, John boy.
After a 2-hour delay, Brad and Ryan are back on the road. They reach a truck stop west of Broken Hill, tired and 300 kilometres behind schedule.
I've tried to keep a cool head, you know, and just make it look like it's not a drama, and we've just kept going along and say, well, just got over all our trailer dilemmas and not expecting any sort of more hassles. One of our pilots, one of our escort drivers, has gone down sick overnight.
Pilots warn oncoming traffic to avoid the megaloads. Without one, Brad and Ryan are grounded.
Yeah, it is the big dilemma. If you can't get one, the load just basically grinds to a stop. We're going to need another pilot.
Thanks, bye.
It could take days to get a pilot.
Oh, great. How long do you think that'll be?
But then Permit Officer Leslie has a stroke of luck.
Thank you. Bye. Well, we found a pilot, and it's just over there. Okay, Malcolm, is it? Yeah. Brad. Right. Yeah,
By sheer chance, Pilot Malcolm is at the truck stop having just finished a job.
Like, who would have thought that? There it was, our answer was right underneath our nose. There is a God, I believe.
With Malcolm out front, the Megatruckers make up time. But 2 hours later, Ryan's trailer strikes again.
You know, it's like it's getting a bit beyond the joke.
I love my job.
I keep telling you, young fellas, this is not a job, it is an adventure. Never happy.
Never happy?
They get out here, they want to be at home with Lovey. They're at home with Lovey, they want to come out here trucking. I hope you don't whinge to Lovey like you whinge to me, Rhino.
And what would I do? What would you want to do?
I'd rather be home with your Lovey. Oh, I mean, when you do long haul like this and you're away from home, it makes life a hell of a lot easier if you actually get on and enjoy working with the people you work with, because they become your family. You've got to look after each other's back. It is like running with a family.
80 kilometres later, they hit South Australia. The troubled trailer is now costing time and money.
Oh, 3 tyres to change the Zavi.
Brad and Ryan have burnt $5,000 in tyres. Worse still, they now have only 2 spares, and tomorrow start a 2,000 kilometre desert crossing. On the loco move, drivers Brad and Ryan now have just 2 days to travel 1,500 kilometres to meet their deadline in Perth. Following, the Nullarbor Plain takes them into Western Australia.
We just had the 4 seasons in 10 minutes, actually. We just went through beautiful weather, a dust storm, very, very heavy rain, so I wonder what's down the road. Heavy Haulage Australia.
Sorry, what was that?
Heavy Haulage Australia. We've been just entered WA and we've come across a task force. It's just a random blitz that these guys do. It's not discriminative. They picked on the trucks.
It turns out the trailer's widths don't match the Megatrucker's paperwork.
Platform to be spread to a minimum 4.2 ground contact width.
Yeah.
There's been a few issues. The problem is that the tyre width on the trailer is 3.8 and the permit says 4.2. So we're being grounded.
In Brisbane, Permit Officer Leslie calls transport officials. If she can't find a quick solution, it'll cost a fortune to change trailer widths in the middle of nowhere.
We're going to have to lift these cranes up somehow and widen the float about that far. Could lead in up to $150,000 by the time we get cranes out here big enough to lift this and set up, and probably throw us back about 3 days, so it's not good.
The nearest crane is almost 500 kilometres away.
The way I'm feeling at the moment, I think I might change the signs on the front of my truck from oversized to over it. I'm well and truly over it.
It was a typo. They're just amending that, and I'll have the permit in about 20 minutes.
Thank you very much. Well, that was a good sign. They've allowed them to amend the permit, so she's just got to reissue the details, and we should be on our way in the next 20 minutes, hopefully half an hour.
Right, mate, thank you.
4,500 kilometres to the west, Brad and Ryan finally reach Perth. They defied a wayward trailer, worn tyres, a breakdown, inspectors and deserts, but they made it on time.
Signed, sealed and delivered.
Oh, what a trip.
Good job, Cobb.
Good job.
Another one down the dust.
But the Megatrucker's joy is short-lived. Boss John turns up unannounced.
The boys probably think it's a bit of added pressure with me coming into town. Just watch he's not overturning, Brad, up on the slew deck.
John takes charge of Ryan's delivery and the weary Megatruckers feel the heat.
I'm just concerned about the fact that the client's happy with the job they've done. Let's hope the client gives the boys some really, really good feedback and I can walk around and give them a pat on the back and say, job well done. Bring him back at that, Brad. Steady.
And he comes over here and tries the rules of roost, and within 30 seconds it looks like a bag of shit.
Banging and banging. Just come back hard, left hand down for a little while. So don't give you much room.
We can get them in there usually first go, with one turn going forward and then straight back.
Righto, let's just go forward and start again. Stop.
After the second reverse, John takes over from an unhappy Ryan.
He pays me and Brad the money to bring these things 4,500 k's over, and then for John to try and just step into it the last 40 feet just to try and prove something. Well, that's just gutless to me. What's all that about?
What do you mean?
Why couldn't I drive it in?
It's one of those things. Get a bit of a different perspective to have a look at it, and a bit of teamwork goes a long way.
Very smart man, but got no people skills.
We're here for one common goal, and that's to keep the customer happy and keep everyone employed. If we keep doing what we're doing, we'll be here for a long time. Definitely not easy being the boss here, that's for sure. I think that everyone underestimates what really goes on behind the scenes. I suppose the commercial pressures on my shoulders alone is massive running a business of this size.
Ryan senses an opportunity with the boss.
Can I have a weekend off when I get home, please?
Rhino.
With my missus?
Of course you can. I'll leave the boys do the last loco, head back east and make sure they've got plenty of work to come back to.
Job done. And a happy client rewards the Megatruckers with a $1.5 million contract to deliver 6 more locomotives.
Ryan has been here nearly 4 years now, and he would be probably one of the most diverse operators we have. He wants to be a big, tough trucker, but at the end of the day, he's just a young teddy bear at heart. He's got a good head on him. I'm not scared about chucking him in the deep end. There's a lot more senior operators that I'd be a bit more scared of chucking on big jobs.
Shit, it's a big one. It's huge. Yeah, it's a freaking fair-sided machine, actually.
At 24, Ryan is the youngest mega trucker in Australia. But that didn't stop John giving him a job that would test a veteran. This 80-tonne excavator must be shifted almost the entire length of Australia, 3,800 kilometres, from the port of Melbourne to a mine near Darwin. Ryan's mission is to get it there in one piece, ready for work in just 8 days. Making it even harder, Ryan will be the only mega trucker for the entire epic journey.
You've got to be a jack of all trades with this job. You've got to be able to operate the machine, operate the float, be a trailerman.
Got to be one of the biggest moves he's done in distance-wise. He's doing it unsupervised. It's a tyranny of distance out there. You break down in the middle of nowhere, you'll be dead within 48 hours.
Yeah. First challenge is to get this 5.5 metre high excavator under the city's low-hanging web of tram lines.
Yeah, 3 o'clock in the morning. If you do come across a low wire or a low bridge, you have got time to resolve the problem rather than block up half of Melbourne. It's like a high-stakes game of limbo under those train lines. If you arc them out, you arc all Melbourne out and you're out of the game. Moving nice and gently. Thanks, mate. Have a good night, eh? I feel totally relieved once I was through Melbourne tram line.
On his solo mission, hauling an excavator almost 4,000 kilometres to Darwin, young gun Ryan has hit South Australia.
This trip is a big adventure. We're going across 2 states and a territory. Yeah, it is a big trip to embark on. I've been into trucks for as long as I can remember. I was never really much for a kid with school. I just thought, you know, kill 2 birds with 1 stone. I'll fucking quit school, I'll go and do what I love. Mum was in the truck with Dad when they had me. It wasn't even 3 months and I was in a truck, I think. Get me away from him. My old man still drives up and down the high every day. We might even see the old man up in Darwin, actually.
Ryan loves mega trucking, but his recent marriage has made him reassess his priorities.
Before I was with my wife, I was working 7 days a week sort of thing, you know, in trucks, and I was loving it. I wanted more. But as you get fond of your loved ones and that, you know, you don't want to be at work as much. You still love it, but you want to spend time with them. We bought our first house together and I was away for that. When we got married, we planned the whole wedding when I was away. It's when you are supposed to be home, but never can be.
But the young mega trucker has a job to do. And the buck stops with him.
There's a little bit of pressure onto this run, eh? Because if something goes wrong, well, it's all on my head, you know. I've authorised the load to be good to go. I've changed the load. I've loaded the load. I've said it's this length. I've said it's this height. At the end of the day, there's no other finger to point to but me. You know, I'm in charge of this whole operation.
Pressure aside, Ryan's run looks like a corker.
The best part of this job, I paid to sightsee. Open road, just do my own thing, just cruise along, nice and easy.
By day 5, he's only 1,500 kilometres from Darwin, with 3 days to spare.
It's 10:30 in the morning and I see the weighbridge in front of me and I feel that the odds are against me.
Weighbridges ensure truckers haul their loads within strict guidelines. Fail, and Ryan could be fined, or worse, grounded for days, costing boss John tens of thousands of dollars.
Just on the weighbridge at Alice, still a long way to Darwin yet. When you got to fall into the weighbridges, it's part and parcel. You got to do it. You got to do it. Yeah, just hope everything's all good.
I'm more concerned about just the axle weights at the moment.
So I try and lose 6 tonne.
Yep.
I'll make the phone call, mate, see what we come up with. Thank you. Yeah, we didn't go too well here.
Stranded in the middle of the country, Ryan calls HHA headquarters to deliver the bad news.
The best thing you try and do is try and resolve it yourself. And they wouldn't sort of come to the party, then you sort of turn to John and say, well, this is what's happened. And today's well and truly stuffed.
The HHA team have organised help. Someone who can reduce his load by 6 tonne.
Isn't too far away, I'm hoping. There he is, it is a fitter.
We were thrown into damage control. The bridge wouldn't let us pass unless we rectified the weight. And the only way to rectify the weight is lose weight. And the only way to lose weight is to take equipment off the machine. We did some calculations and decided that counterweight was the quickest and easiest way to remove.
Take up, mate. Oh, then better.
All that comes at a premium. And the cost for crane hire, for labour to pull it off, and then for the actual transport of the separate piece. That second truck travels with just a counterweight on it.
And the reason why Ryan's load was over? A typo on the permit.
With the level of compliance in this business, something as simple as a typo on a permit can cost you days on the side of the road. All in all, that cost there was just over $15,000. So that's basically hit me clean in the arse.
With the counterweight removed, Ryan wastes no time reloading the digger.
I worked out it was about 24 to 30 hours, I was back on the road again. Lucky to us, we had resources and we could get it done. Just goes to show anywhere in Australia, we can always get something done.
On the excavator move, Ryan finally makes Darwin.
Yeah, I feel very relieved, you know, you get up there and the job's been done with a few dilemmas that we've had, which could have been worse. You feel happy and proud you got the load there in one piece. You can cross that trip off your list, you know, sort of thing. It's like you've gone from Melbourne to Darwin in one hit.
Yeah, time for a beer tonight, I reckon.
The carer was really good, actually. He was a good pilot. He done really well. Really appreciate it. Really appreciate his friendship anyway. He's good. Customer's happy, John's happy, I'm happy. Two habits make a third happy, which makes a home run.
Ryan would have had a lot of weight on his shoulders. Even though we've had a setback, we still made our deadline. Customer's still happy, so that's a good job. Dave Pansino started with HHA in 2005. He's #1 in the food chain when it comes to drivers. It's high pressure, it's high stakes, and at the end of the day, it's up to him to be the dance master.
Joining Dave on this big move is trusted veteran Brad, but boss John is taking a gamble with the other driver.
Chris McIntosh, better known as Seaboy. Chris's strength is definitely his ability when he does jump on a truck to operate really well. Very smooth, very cautious operator. His weaknesses is his ability to turn up on time and his ability to set his alarm clock and his ability to not get his girlfriend to park behind the truck so he can get his truck out of his driveway at home.
It takes Dave, Brad and Chris 4 painstaking hours to load the huge main bearing.
It's 181 tonne. We'll have police, traffic management and the whole 9 yards. All the other haulage companies in town, everyone had a go at it to try and work out how they're going to do it. We've got it, we're just going to make sure we do it right.
This job, it's a double-edged sword. We could do a sterling job and walk off the site with everything delivered as heroes, or if something goes wrong, it could ruin us.
The load is so heavy it needs 2 prime movers pulling at the front. Brad behind one wheel, John the other. But all eyes will be on Chris bringing up the rear.
Chris has let the boys down in the past. He's got a lot of catching up to do to earn everyone's respect.
Not too much pushing down the back. So just listen to Brad. He'll call you.
He's walking the plank with this move for sure. If he's not successful, he's jumping off the edge and there's plenty of sharks there to get him.
It's his chance to sort of prove himself or have a bit of a go.
This is probably the biggest move that I've actually been a part of. You know, if I stuff it up, then I'll never get the opportunity to do that again.
I haven't got the time or the patience for any of that shit, so he either listens or he can unhook the truck and f*** off.
As the man in charge, Dave feels the burden of this mega move.
Every time you look for something in this truck, mate, it's either been borrowed and stolen, hasn't been put back. No one gives a
fair bit of pressure on at the moment.
Driver Chris is on site, on time, and on everyone's nerves.
No, on the phone, just make sure you're listening. Phone's off, mate. Talk right.
Brad and Dave do have permission to remove your legs and flog you with them.
That's what you mean.
You said the phone was off.
Hello.
Seaboy, turn that phone up.
The team has 8 hours to travel 35 kilometres before sunrise.
You know, you probably ride your push bike there if you're fit enough, but when you got that big hunk of shit on the back, that 180-tonne piece, certainly takes a fair chunk of the night away.
Well, the terrain we're going in is suburbia, and there's nowhere for us to pull up this big convoy on the route anywhere, so it's pretty much sink or swim time.
But soon as they leave the shipyard, the Megatruckers face their first hurdle.
The whole thing takes months and months and months to coordinate and plan, and you think you've got it all prepared, and then you turn up and the street we've got to come out is lined from side to side with trucks.
Back it down, mate. I want it dead slow, please. There's always obstacles that you don't sort of really need. You know, guys parking trucks and trailers on the road. Bad enough doing the job when it's straightforward.
It takes an hour to crawl half a kilometre past the parked trucks.
I need you to stop. That bollard's going.
I'm just glad it wasn't a big telegraph pole and had to get a chainsaw and start cutting that down.
Next, it's a tight turn, and Chris starts to drive everyone round the bend.
All
good on that left-hand side, Brad.
Chris is down the back, and then he decides to flap his gums on the radio and do a pilot's job as well as try and drive his truck.
I'm going to grab a gear somewhere here, Brad, so I'm in if you need me, or just wait for the call.
When you're trying to hear a crucial thing and someone's talking shit over the top of it, that can be bad. So, you know, that's what John, I think, was going to rip his voice box out that night.
All right, Brad, you've got a fair bit on your driver's side, and
Chris, shut the f*** up.
Chris needs to spend a little bit more time driving and less worrying about piloting and what Brad's going to hit.
It takes 90 minutes to grind out 1.5 kilometres. Now the trucks can hit the open road.
You definitely don't want to be a Mazda 121 coming down the freeway tonight, that's for sure. So we'd chew you up and spit you out.
The Megatruckers barrel through the night and reach their target just before dawn.
This load, they said, couldn't be moved. Authorities said we wouldn't be able to get a permit. You know, it's a bit of pressure off, you know, completing the first night.
Hey, all right tonight?
I'm all right tonight. No need for yelling and screaming. First night's probably about a 5.5, maybe 6 out of 10 for difficulty. Tomorrow night's going to be a solid 9.5. We're nowhere near over yet, that's for sure. Young Chris, young Seaboy, he did okay. He just needs to learn to shut his mouth. You know, there's a couple of times there I was basically saying, you know, Chris, I will tell you when I need shit done.
It's one of those things, mate. You've got to ask the questions to find out, and whether to use your own brain or just play dumb down the back and wait for him to make a call. But I know what'll happen if you do that, then you'll get abused for not using your brain.
You know the old saying, little boys should be seen and not heard? And then you get him a bumper sticker.
Night 2 on the tunnel boring machine move. As the man in charge, Dave is first on site to check the load.
Yeah, it's that sort of industry, mate, where people do get the shits if other people get the job. So just making sure that no one's been out playing any games. Rather be safe than sorry.
Dave calls a team meeting and everyone's gunning for driver Chris after his performance on night 1.
Keep the drawbar straight. Don't worry about what Brad's doing. It's the pilot's job, mate, to watch, or myself, or...
It's just 100% concentrate on the load. And if you need to go up a gear because you're too far, like you just... Shut up. I'm sure with a bit of direction he'll get up there. If not, it'll be Dave and me with, you know, that foot up his arse.
The team has 6 hours to travel 33 kilometres along a motorway. Sounds easy, but not the way John's team must do it. The only crossing capable of taking the combined strain of 400 tonnes is a Centenary Bridge. Problem is, the Queensland floods weaken the northbound lanes. John's solution? A convoy on the wrong side of the motorway. He spent 9 months persuading authorities to shut 21 kilometres of the motorway for 5 hours. The cost? $60,000.
So one of the major concerns for me on a massive move like this is if something does go wrong, it gives the police and main roads ammunition to not grant us further permits for moves. We're not in the business of moving potatoes. Let's face it, if I can't get permits to move, well, I don't have a business. Are we looking up the inside there, Dave?
To get to the wrong side of the motorway, they must first squeeze this load under this bridge.
The bridge is basically 4.7, and we're 4.7. This trailer relies on equal hydraulic suspension pressure all the way through. So if one end actually bottomed out, there's a very, very big chance we could snap that trailer in half just like a twig. Right, inch by inch, please, mate. Just on the brakes, nice and steady, just inch by inch.
Obviously, we've measured the load 50 times and we've measured the bridge 60 times. Can't just assume on the night it's going to fit. Main road's got to come through there that afternoon and put another 4 inches of bitumen on there.
That's too quick, steady, too quick.
If the measurements are wrong, mate, I mean, you're going to get jammed up underneath one of those bridge beams. I mean, wiping out a bridge, mate, can cost you millions.
They can lower the trailer hydraulically, but only by a matter of millimetres.
That's too quick, steady, too quick.
Brad controls the speed at the front.
Got to have the reactions of a gunfighter, you know. The moment someone says stop, just got to stop it.
Chris, the rear.
Nerves are through the roof. I'm waiting to pounce at any second.
Steady, too quick. Stop. Inch by inch, please. Steady, we just have to watch these back lugs. So just a little bit of foot brake, please.
It takes almost an hour to scrape under the bridge. A move of just 50 metres.
At the last one now.
Now the convoy can join the wrong side of the Centenary motorway.
I've lived in Brisbane for 50-odd years and I never in my wildest dream thought about driving down the freeway the wrong way, let alone with 400 tonne on.
Yeah, it does feel pretty cool running a massive job like that down the incorrect side of the road, you know, knowing that no one's ever done it.
It's supposed to be concentrating flat out, but this is pretty cool.
The Megatruckers have become the first 400-tonne convoy to tackle the Centenary Bridge on the wrong side. But this move is far from over.
Legacy Way, well, yeah, that's the last challenge of the night.
And it was a feeling of, thank God, this is over, and we've done it. And then I looked straight ahead, and there was this dirty big drop down, and I thought, what the f***?
Boss John's A-team now faces its biggest test.
Steady.
How to stop 400 tonnes sliding down a ramp.
The ramp going down into the shed, it's about 15, 20 degrees.
Just watch that left-hand corner, Dave.
Nice, smooth, polished concrete and a nice steep descent, and I thought, have a look at this.
Dave noticed a greasy oil patch on that decline. Having a truck hit an oil patch like that, you know, it's just a recipe for disaster.
If my truck broke traction and if that started to go, that'd take the trailer and both the trucks, and she would just be down we'd go.
Chris at the back, a lot of pressure on him. He was very much the last line of defence with braking.
Steady. Now, at that weight, once it starts to slide, it'll just keep going.
That's why John was so shit scared on that job, because that was the factor. You know, like, if this goes wrong, holy that's the end of HHA.
A couple of times the truck bucked, you know, like if you wanted to keep skipping.
Yeah, bit of brake, mate, hold me back. The brakes keep binding up to that.
Yeah, John and I had a bit of an altercation on that ramp.
No, you're not going on the foot brake because the trailer will overtake the truck.
He wanted Brad to use the handpiece a hell of a lot. It just kept grabbing the trailer brakes, mate. And every time that trailer brake and grab, mate, that's potential for that load to bust those chains.
Just hold it on the foot brake, mate. The truck brakes are there. They're either on or off.
I just said to Brad, I said, just ride the f***ing brake. Well, you can't hold on the trailer brake. I don't know how many times I've told you. It's on or it's off on the f***ing trailer. I'm not pissing in my own pocket, but I actually got one on him for a f***ing change. What a bonus.
We want to go hard up against the left-hand wall on the internal.
After 55 tense minutes, they finally make the 250 metres down to the construction site.
Don't realise how steep that bloody hill is, do you?
No, for you guys, I suppose you feel it more.
When you look back up where you've just come from, it's quite daunting. I thought, oh, hell, I'm going to bed.
For the second night, John said, look, drive the truck out how you feel it should be driven. It was good having that control, I guess.
Seaboy stepped up to the mark, he shut his mouth, he actually listened to what Dave and I and Brad were actually trying to get through to him.
I don't think John will ever give you too much of a pat on the back, but that's just John, yeah.
I think I'll give him a B+ on the night, but it'll take more than one move to convince me that he's committed here 100%.
We've got one of the biggest components down, we've only got 139 to go.
Today's mission is to haul this giant catamaran just 1.5 kilometres. 10 metres wide and 4 stories high, this catamaran is a 40-tonne nightmare. The plan is to build a cradle using concrete blocks and steel girders. The giant ferry slots on top for the trip to a dock. It's not a long move, but it'll be a challenge for the Megatruckers.
I'm not real keen on the concrete block idea, but that's what the customers provided, so we'll run with that. Right, down. I need these blocks perfect, otherwise the beams won't line up.
John and his backroom team usually produce loading plans, but these drawings, blocks and beams are from the client.
The blocks were just normal concrete. We don't know whether they're reinforced. And the minute you get something that cracks under load, well, it's a big job to change that.
What's wrong, Lonnie?
We're just having a quick little measurement. The alarm bells are starting to go off saying that it's not as per the drawing. Like, someone's asking you to do something, giving you the tools and saying, here's the pieces of the puzzle, put them together, and there's pieces missing. It just doesn't add up.
Driver Dave discovers the beams are too short.
What was submitted on the plan and then what we actually measured to move this thing was just two totally different scenarios.
Overhang. On the drawing, this is what I mean, mate. Oh, so overhang. Have you got longer beams? No?
We loaded it as per the customer's specifications. Their blocks, their beams. Dave and I both had concerns. The drawing shows the beam to have overhang past the trailer. Once again, you can see that it's a metre short of the trailer.
Well, that's not even touching on that block anyway.
So the blocks are in the right place, it's the beams are incorrect.
Something that they've measured isn't quite right now.
If the beams aren't long enough, the 40-tonne catamaran could topple off the trailer. Despite his concerns, Dave decides to push on.
Dave did it as per the customer's specifications. I personally wouldn't have kept going.
In charge is driver Dave. He was so worried about safety, he called boss John for help.
He rang me very, very concerned about the structural integrity of the beams and the blocks. His words were he wouldn't put his carport up with the beams they supplied, so why would I put a $10 million boat on them? It's a good job I came down here today because we've got some serious problems that we need to address straight away. I cannot believe that they're using like dead set 50-cent beams. I'd sooner see our beams up the top there than these shit ones.
Well, how quick can we get them down here?
I know there's one in the driveway there.
Yeah, there's, and the other 3 must be up the backyard.
I think Brad put that in the way strategically so he's got some challenge to back in the yard. Correct. At least with our beams, we've got chaining points on them, and you can put a dog underneath them and, like, dog down this way, dog down that way.
About 300, aren't they?
310.
310.
The chances are that beams could have failed. If a beam failed, that boat's coming off you quicker than Jack Flash. If it could tear down power lines or power poles, and that damage can be into the millions.
The catamaran was to be moved by a rival company. But when they realised they couldn't do the job, they turned to John.
When shit turns bad, you know, for other transport companies or other customers, HHA and I suppose myself personally has been the go-to guy. People know when they ring us, the job will get done.
John's had enough of standing around. With 2 more big-dollar catamaran moves in the offing, he strikes.
I'll go show this bloke the proper way how to do it.
The client just happened to be walking past. As John seen the client come there, he just beelined towards him and he was about to tell him how good we are and what we got to offer for him.
John, I'm Angus.
Oh, yeah. John Kelly, here you go. This is how we move a boat properly. This is the last one we did for the shipyard here. So we got these big heavy lift stands and they're like rated at 250 tonne each. And we can keep stacking these. That's the idea of them because they're boltable. So if we could find out what potentially your main load bearing points are.
Yeah. And we did start off with this in mind as well. Side there as well.
John was out for the kiln. He had the more muscle, he had the bigger legs, and he was just going in and he was just going to run over at any cost.
The sweet talking pays off. The client agrees to use John's steel beams.
Worried A-team's here now.
With all eyes now on the Megatruckers, it's time to deliver.
We're going to lose a couple of hours resetting up and around this morning, but you don't want it falling off the trailer halfway out the driveway. There's a lot of jealousy, you know, John having what he's got and where he is, and I think people would love to see him up or go down in a ball of flames.
There was 1 million people there, and the thought that just goes through your head is just can't go wrong.
To line all that up and get that right is absolutely critical.
When you're back underneath it, you only got about 50 mil either side of the steel beam, so it's quite easy to punch a hole in the bottom of the boat. Glenn and I are on the ground with radios, and it's our call to say go, stop, a little bit to the left, a little bit to the right.
If we did touch it, that we could have sent a beam or a block arse overhead off the trailer.
Got plenty of room over there, Glenn?
Catch him up, mate.
After 3 attempts, Dave nails it. The next challenge is to stop the catamaran touching power lines.
If that happens, it'll weld that trailer to the boat, blow every tyre on the trailer, and potentially electrocute Dave. As they say, one flash and you're ash.
It's 5 a.m. on the catamaran move, and the Megatruckers have a problem. Power lines block the exit.
I was under the assumption, which we discussed with the Energex workers, that these wires were going to be dropped down. And these guys are telling us, no, we'll be able to lift them. I don't believe they will. Dealing with 11 kVA wires that we are, it's extremely dangerous. The risk of death is great.
Who's looking at maintaining clearance up there?
Alec.
You trust him?
What they're going to do is if there's any problem, Brad will be on this side, he'll call out stop, stop, and we'll do the same.
Right.
Let's do it.
How are we going to go on the Energex truck there. We're going to have enough clearance.
The wires can't go higher, and John is running out of options.
A simple man would lower his trailer and move straight out, but the keel of the boat is too close to the pavement, so we can't lower the trailer. So we're in a rock and a hard place where we've got minuscule clearance.
We were down to literally 5 to 10 millimetres of clearance between the vessel and the road.
We go for tail swing climate side, Brad.
If you don't lower it, you'll snag the power lines. If you let the trailer down too far, well, the boat will actually hit the road and stop, and the truck and the trailer won't.
Stop, Dave, please stop. I can see those power lines up there moving up top. Is someone up there watching the power lines? Are they energised still?
They're hot.
They're hot?
Yeah, they are.
We need to maintain 0.7 of a metre clearance off the catamaran and the power lines. If we encroach on that distance, there's a very, very high chance that 22,000 volts of electricity will arc itself on the actual catamaran. If that happens, it'll weld that trailer to the boat, blow every tyre on the trailer, and potentially electrocute Dave.
To see those power lines move, mate, when you're under them, you think you've jagged something.
It's more than it looks. When I was up there, even from far away, I reckon you probably still got more air witness clearance there.
It looked a bit narrow from where we were standing, but it's a bit of an optical illusion. They eyeballed it and reckoned they measured it, and they said we had 800.
You right?
Yeah, I'm good here. Yeah, all the power lines all good now, so we've lowered it down. They've gotten a bit of extra height. Just square up, Dave, please. Yeah, I reckon that's a perfect setup for this camber. It's riding good.
Speed that we're doing, that 1.5 kilometres that we only had to move that bait, it seems like about 150 kilometres.
Down on the left-hand side a little bit, just slowly.
Arrived on the docks, unscratched and unscathed, and it's a really good feeling. I love it. Bradley loves it, Dave loves it, all the boys here love doing what they're doing. It's just great to be part of it. Just can't wait for the next big move.
Job done. A happy customer. And John doesn't miss a trick.
The boys are saying that this next one's going to be a bit tricky with its location, so we've got a self-propelled trailer, which would be very, very handy bit of kit to do that. And we'll see what happens on the next move, whether we get a call up to do it 100% properly. Have a good weekend. Yeah, no, definitely. That catamaran move was definitely a boundary pushing job. When someone says I can move 500 tonne, I'll go, oh, can we move 600? When someone says I can move 2,000, and I'll go, how about moving 3,000? It's just one of those things. It's a disease.